Eugenics is a set of beliefs and practices that aims at improving genetic quality of the human population. Let's think about how it will really affect us regarding the evolution of our knowledge. Starting with GMO, the amount of people in need of food will keep growing and solutions will be found within the OGM-doped agriculture. The constant growing use of pesticides will have finished to kill the soil due to a lack of fallow. People eating with altered genes constantly will start to get side effects which consist of adapting to those genes as well, and will cause strong resistance against antibiotics, preventing people to heal easily. With CRISPR we can literally delay disease and genetic ones, but it could create deficiencies in the future. Then we'll start to weaken against disease we cannot fight anymore with normal medicines, so why not creating new organs from our own genes? So there'll be no risk of reject. Oh wait, it's already the case since 2015 where they were trying to grow human organs into a pig chimera. Some good things could also come out of this, like with plants we could grant embryos some specific capacity from animals which resist to everything like the tardigrades and build a better radiation resistant to our future spacemen or Martian settlers. But if we start to alter our own DNA in such way, growing custom children, could it build a society where the perfection will be the new standard, where the riches can choose to be anything and the poor's no chance to grow in the society anymore? Could they modify their aging genes as well and widen the gap between the one who can't and the one who can afford it? Possibly.
No, here it is. You cannot do it. It's the same approach or idea at the technological level. I mean the idea of modifying the genome to aim
Yes,
for improvement.
and I think the medical community, the society, our citizens are not ready to accept the altered human by genetic engineering because it could get transmitted from generation to generation, and that's the point, which is not really the case with GMOs. It's a serious critic about it, but they rightly make sterile models, and each year it needs to be both to start its culture again. The problem with the germ therapy and all of the germ cells is that it's transmitting to the next generation, and we absolutely don't want to do so.
Here, I mean, we are really in a science fiction, like Welcome to Gattaca, and we are not at all in the determinism of today, so these are things that are forbidden in France and will remain banned, and the question does not arise today. So, in the future, some countries will develop things like that in the case of a totalitarian regime, let's say. I do not know. It seems a little questionable, or even for people, if you want to predetermine someone, it seems totally eccentric hereafter. Yes, you're right, but this thing, I do not know. Anti-radiation in astronauts? It's not going to discount the guy at any level.
It depends which gene exactly, what it suspect when we give that additional gene, because here we are talking about adding a gene, not replacing a fading one.
If a gene is not functioning properly, you can repair it, or even why not put another allele and then the person will be better. But introducing a new gene, it's risky.
In time, people working on embryo cells were prevented to continue.
Yes, there is a ban on the embryonic stem cells, more or less. And then there was that famous document that showed us that adult stem cells could be differentiated into more potent ones. So it's true that you're right. People who are doing cell therapy in neurodegenerative diseases were working on these cells that were modifying to inject neurons. They were a bit stuck at that time.
I do not know how it is today. If it was lightened a little, I'm not sure.
I'm not so sure. I think today it's going to be rediscussed in the context of the law, but what Mattei and others have said, I remember very well. They say they will not work on the embryonic stem cells, but can work on the adult stem cells.